Hello dear ACC, welcome back to my another class. I am Muhammad Ibrahim Hussain. Today I will discuss some grammatical items from English second part, particularly on the question number 4, that is completing. For the question number 4, you will be asked to complete 10 incompleted sentences, especially by using phrases or clauses. The phrases and clauses must be suitable. In the question, it is usually asked for the student this way that complete the following sentences by using suitable phrases or clauses. So, naturally, the question arises, what is a phrase? What is a clause? Can you remember my previous class? In my previous class, I tried to define them in my own OS. Anyhow, for your convenience, I am going to define them once again. Phrase. Phrase is a group of words having no subject and verb. It usually works as a single unit of expression. It is also used as a single part of speech. On the other hand, a clause is a part of a larger sentence. Anyhow, a clause is a part of a larger sentence having subject and verbs. It works as a unit of thought. Today, I will discuss that type of completion of the sentence where you will have to use the clauses. And for this purpose, I will use some very common, usual and familiar terms like phrases, conjunction or like so. So, let us start the main discussion. First of all, I will show you the use of the conjunction lest. Lest, L-E-S-T. Can you remember? Can you tell me what is lest? What type of passive speech is it? Lest is a conjunction. Lest is a conjunction, and it is usually found in a complex sentence. Now the question naturally arises, what is complex sentence? Can you tell me what is a complex sentence? Complex sentence is a such type of sentence in which there is a principal clause and at least one subordinate clause. So, you will have to know principal clause, subordinate clause. What is a principal clause? Can you tell me what is a principal clause? Principal clause contains the principal idea of a sentence. It can stand alone as a sentence and it can express a complete thought. On the other hand, subordinate clause is just the opposite of a principal clause. A subordinate clause usually contains a subordinate idea. It can stand alone as a sentence and it has to depend on the principal clause for its meaning. For the completion of the meaning, a subordinate clause always has to depend on principal clause. So, I have already explained the necessary background for the rule of lest. Now, let us start the main discussion. So, when you are going to answer by using lest, whether it is a matter of right form of verb or completing of the sentence or even special use of phrase, you will have to have the clear conception, the fundamental conception about the uses of lest. Though there is a wide variation in British and American English regarding the uses of lest, but I will discuss today the traditional rule of lest that is very usual and common till today. Anyhow, whatever I have said, lest is a conjunction and it is usually found in a complex sentence. Okay, let me make it clear by writing down a sentence. I'm going to write down one sentence. Suppose study hard lest you should fail. You see, whatever I have written, study hard lest you should fail. Why have I written you should fail even after studying hard? I will explain it step by step. Whenever you are going to make an answer with the use of lest, you will have to keep just 3 points in your minds. How many points? Just 3 points. First of all, according to the traditional rule of our country, lest itself, what is the meaning? Lest means for the fear that something bad might happen. Again, lest means for the fear that something bad might happen. In other words, it suggests for the fear that not in order that not and also in case. What can you see in that type of sentences? In that type of sentences, we can see that the speaker of this type of sentences mentions some kind of statement, some kind of action in the principal clause, and in the subordinate clause, it is the speaker usually apprehends, the speaker usually expresses his fear that if the task of the principal clause is not performed, is not fulfilled, is not done, then something bad, something unexpected, something odd may happen. That's the fact. So, for the fear of failure of a student, it is better to study hard. So, let me explain whatever I have said in my previous discussion step by step. You will have to keep just 3 points. 3 points. First of all, according to the present rule that is usually common or usual in our country, lest itself is a sign of negation. That not. That not. That means this list suggests somewhat a negation. And as you know that double negative, double interrogative, double passive should not be allowed in English grammar. So, after lest, according to the traditional rule of our country, you can't use any negative statement by using like no, not, never. Anyhow, for the disorder of electric system, my discussion or my lecture seems to be somewhat disorder. Anyhow, you see, for the first one that you will have to keep in your mind, after lest you can't use any negative sign, negative statement. If we think that you should fail, let's evaluate this sentence in another way. What is the negative form? What is the negative statement of this sentence? You should fail means you shouldn't pass. It's the right transformation of the sentence. You should fail means you shouldn't pass. But if any student gives the answer this way that study hard lest you shouldn't pass, then the answer will be wrong because lest itself is a sign of negation. So, after lest you are not allowed to use any negative sign, any negation. It's the first point. Now, come to the second point that is vital to be remembered. You see, the principal clause, then lest, and after lest you will have to use any subject, then should or might. In our country, it is very usual to use should. You may also use might according to the meaning of the sentence. And as should or might is a modal auxiliary you will have to use the base form of the verb after modal auxiliary plus dot 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 extension. It will be for the active voice, but if it is seen that you will have to use the passive form, then what should be the structure? List, subject, then should be or might be plus V3 plus dot 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 for passive voice. So, the principal clause may be of assertive sentence, may be of imperative sentence. The tense of the principal clause may be present or may be past, either it may be. For the changing form of the principal clause, the answer in the subordinate clause will be this way. For active voice, should, might plus V base plus active voice, it is for active voice, and should be plus V3, should be or might be plus V3 for passive voice. Okay, let me clear it by using some example. You can see some sentences have been written in my whiteboard. He drives or drove. Its present tense, its past tense. The subject is he. He drives or drove his bike carefully, lest he should face an accident. You see, whether it is present tense or past tense, for the subordinate clause after lest, you can use should or might and the base form of the verb. It's assertive sentence. It could be an imperative sentence also. You see the second sentence, drive carefully, lest you should face an accident. You see, it's assertive sentence, it's imperative sentence. Let's come to the point of present or past tense. The thief flees or fled away, lest anyone should see him. You see, anyone should see him. We could express it in the passive structure also. If the subject is changed, he should be seen. You can write down this answer this way. The thief flees or fled away, lest he should be seen. As the subject, he himself is not doing the task. So, whenever any subject of a sentence is unable to perform the particular task, we usually take the help of passive expression. So, the second point is whatever the principal clause may be, whatever the principal clause may be. Hello dear student, now come to the third and vital point. You see, before lest there is a principal clause and after lest there is a subordinate clause. The statement, the last vital point is the statement before lest and after lest must be contradictory, opposing for each other in meaning. You see, study hard, you should fail. Work fast, you should miss the train. If a person studies hard, then how can we expect that he should fail? Is this not a contradictory statement? So, in this case, we use lest, study hard, lest you should fail. Work fast, you should miss the train, lest you should miss the train. That's the fact. Anyhow, the person behind the camera is giving me a warning for finishing my lecture. I will show you the different types of use of lest in next class. You can see, for your further information, I have written down another two sentences. He disguised himself lest he be recognized. I have taken this sentence from Oxford Dictionary, and in British English you can see, I will ring him earlier lest he not be recognized. You can see the negative expression. In the next class, if I get much time, I will explain the subjunctive mode of the verb. Thanks to everyone and expect to join the another class very soon. Allah.